Hello everybody. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's Monday, December 1st. Wow. So, let's go ahead and do just a general reading for December and see how that is going to play out. We're moving into I think we are now fully in the age of Aquarius. Very cool. I've been singing for that since the 70s. So that's going to be with us for a long time. So we have a lot of planets going direct. Mercury finally going direct. Yay. So I encourage everybody to find their favorite astrologer and take a look at what's going on. My big sister, my big soul sister Denise, does some great astrology. Ann Ortelli, I think is her name. She's back on the YouTube doing her weekly weather. It's good to see her back. All right, so a lot of stuff going on. The end of the year, we're kind of looking at things as it, what? Oh, sorry. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. He almost forgot me. No, I didn't almost forget you. You forgot me. You're always in the back of my vision, sitting on my coffee cup. Yeah. Guess what? You're going to get a surprise. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. All right. Let's look at December. So we have Congress coming back into session. Yay. How many days have they worked? The House? How many days? Oh my gosh. I was watching some podcast and it had Moses Mike on with his wife, and his wife went to go touch him and he kind of recoiled. So bizarre. And somebody asked him, oh, Stephen Miller's wife has a podcast. Breathe. Oh, God. And so they were on that podcast and they were asked if they, went to church every week. Well, no, we try. I'm like, what? What? Well, we're putting out a lot of fires. Everybody's calling me. Everybody, turn your phone off for an hour as you go to church. I don't know. So when I was growing up, my dad went to church every day. Every day. That was his meditation. That was him getting calm. And he would put what he wanted out into the universe. Now, he put it into the religious context, but he had a lot of good luck in his life. So anyway, sorry. Just didn't have time to go to church. Moses Mike. All right. Let's take a look at the energies for December. Today I'm going to be using my original Rider-Waite deck. What's that card? Ooh, King of Cups. Okay. And it's funny what 40 years of shuffling these cards, how pliable they become. I was thinking about that. I was going, these cards are so easy to shuffle because, you know, I got hurdy hands. And some of these decks, they're just really hard to shuffle for me. Even some older ones. And then I thought, well, I'll pick up these because they're easy. They're easy to shuffle. And then I thought, I've had these for 40 years, maybe even a little longer, which means, holy crap, I'm old. Dang. Okay. No, I did not start throwing cards when I was 2. So, I think I got them when I was 20, when was it? 28? 28 when I picked up my first deck of cards. All right, let's focus in a little bit. Let me have a little duck water. Excuse me. Yeah, it's okay. Some people drink tea. Some people drink coffee. I drink duck water. Yum. All right. Here we go. Month of December. Congress is coming back. They got a lot of work to do. How many days will they be in session before they go on vacation again? The working holiday. I wonder if Moses Mike is going to go to church on Christmas. Will he have time? Will he have time to open up presents? December. What do we... I mean, there's so much stuff going on. And I feel like it's... When I drop into the stillness a little bit, it feels like what I'm hearing myself say is we need to spend time getting into the quiet, getting into our church, whatever church that is for us. That we need to take time for that quiet silence, introspection. Because they're not doing it. Certainly, they're just creating chaos. So let's see what is going on. And I'm going to look at it a couple different ways. How do we deal with the energy of December? As light warriors. And I feel a lot of anger. And I see this in the posts where there's just so much anger and there's no forgiveness, and it's not going to change if we keep having so much anger. There's a bit of change, and there's huge change coming. Anyway. Let's see what we get with the cards. What do we as light warriors need to focus on? The battle. Yeah. So, I just pulled 4 cards, and we'll drop it down. Oh, sorry. Yikes. You saw my open closet. Okay, so we have the giving and receiving. What do we need to focus on? Walking away from sorrow to find ourselves. The battle, and this is just a verbal battle, but in this deck, I mean, they're beating each other over the heads with this stuff. And then we have the Sword of Truth with the Page of Swords coming in. So there is an aspect of giving and receiving, and how does that play out in our light warriors' point of view? What are we giving? What are we receiving? Is it just financial stuff? And certainly as we look into December, there's a lot that we can give financially. There's a lot of need for us to give financially if we are able to. There is, but there's also the overgiving. So we need to be careful with that. But there's other things that we can, as light warriors, we can give light, we can give comfort, we can give other things besides financial tokens. The Eight of Pentacles, walking away from an emotional issue to really tap into yourself, maybe go into that hermit mode. And we certainly have this playing out because I feel it. It's just so, pick something. And there's a battle over it. World issues. And when I was looking at some of the astrology, this, it's just not in the US, but we feel it, it's everywhere. The whole world is going through this shift. And this is what we need, I think, to focus on, is the sword of truth, is some legal action that's coming, getting ready to come. It's not fully formed yet. It's a page. It's young. It may be making mistakes a little bit as we move on. We have the hidden agenda of the moon, the King of Wands. Information coming from, I think, overseas, and a new emotional start that we can look forward to. Yay. So as light warriors, finding a new emotional way forward from the battles and the truth. Walking away from the battle to find a higher authority that is going to come through, with secrets being revealed from giving and receiving too much. Oh, yeah. So that just flipped me back to the Epstein case. Walking away, bringing forth the shadow information. Here we have that Hanged Man. It's, at first I thought it was, when I looked at this, it's crazy. I thought it was the Hermit. No, but it's the Hanged Man. Time out, suspension, look at things from a different point of view, or just getting hung up. We might just get hung up and in the secrets and information. Another Page of Pentacles coming forth with a new opportunity. And here's the Hermit. So I get the Hermit card. All right. Yay. So it feels like December is time for us to walk away from a lot of the BS that's coming at us. And there's going to be things that creep up from the moon card. And what's the full moon this month called? I can't remember. And my wife just told me and I can't remember. I never listened to her anyway. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that out loud, did I? Kidding. I always listen. Well, okay, never mind. Moving on. So it feels like, yeah, we need to focus on some of the new things that are coming our way. With the Page of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. But it's going to take some walking away from the news, looking at things from a different point of view, and just being in solitude for a while. And this is a hard month to be in solitude because, you got the holidays. And there's a lot of demands on all of us. Hey, do this, do that. Be here. Eat this. Okay, let's take a look at Congress. I'm going to hit pause. Okay. Congress. So they're returning, and according to Simon Rosenberg, the Hopium Chronicles, Congress returns to a series of crises on Monday, today, and must act with great speed and ambition. You think that's even possible? Okay, so this is the last couple of weeks have been pushing Pumpkinhead into a legitimate crisis. You saw him on Air Force One or something. Somebody asked him about his MRI, and he said, "Well, I don't know." Well, who doesn't know what you're getting an MRI for? Why isn't anybody pushing back? And the reporter did try to push back, and he flipped it to, it wasn't my brain because I had a cognitive test and I aced it, and you wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm like, oh, somebody please just start hammering him. Let him blow a gasket. Anyway, maybe. I don't know. Congressional chaos, right? The Senate rolled back on the tariffs. The entire Congress, except one, right? Voting to force him to end the Epstein cover-up. That's going to be huge. I think that's coming on the 19th, but that's still going to be playing out in the news cycle. The election in Tennessee, he won that state. Okay, and you all know what I think about him winning, him stealing the election, but he won Tennessee by 22 points, and the House seat that's up, it's neck and neck. So I want to look at that. Bad economy, higher prices, health care, Hegseth and Nome. What the hell? I mean, the crazy thing. So it's just all crazy. But Nome defied a court order, and she sent people to El Salvador, and she was named in that. That's just crazy. Hegseth, kill them all. Which is why the Senate, the 6 Congress people sent that video out. Trump in his public comments just getting more bizarre and more bizarre. Ukraine tearing down the East Wing. I mean, there's so much crap that's going in there. So, okay, so let's just look at Congress for December. What about Congress in December? Oh, this is interesting. Page of Pentacles. They're coming back. They're going to work. They're going to start something new. Oh, exciting. Look, they're going to do something new. Followed by, we don't know what to do. Oh, it's so confusing. Where do we go with this? 7 of Cups. At the base of the reading is they got some news coming really fast. Everything's coming really fast at them. They're getting underwater. They can't keep their head up. In the past, as it relates to this reading, there's information from the past that's going to be coming out forward. More information from the past. And it's going to come fast. And here we have the Temperance card. Is this a balance? Is this bringing calm? We'll see. We'll see where this goes, this balance card. Here's another balance card, the Two of Pentacles. There's some kind of balance or losing their balance because he is, even though he's on one foot, look at, the rough seas behind him. He's juggling things. Yep. Wow, another two. Two of Cups. And when I look at this, that seems to be like a medical card to me. But there's a internal, this is my internal position, a coming together of some things, coming together externally, secrets coming out, a higher authority, the divine feminine showing up and saying, we got some alchemy that would like to make up between the pillars of justice, walking away from sorrow, hopes and fears, and going back to a simpler time. Congress, let's see, going back to a simpler time, movement, and some legal battles. Knight of Swords, just charging in. I feel like someone is going to, especially with this card, just come in with some really new information that we all know what the information is. We all know the dark secrets that are coming out. And I think they are going to come out, and Congress is going to have to, Moses Mike is going to have to be pouring from one cup to another and trying to balance things out. And I don't know. Underlying it, judgment, the release of something. Look, somebody is being. Is there a release in this deck? Well, this is the Judgment card. I mean, they're going to meet their their maker, justice, justice, and we have the Wish card. Whose wish is it? Well, I don't know. It's three women celebrating. They got their wish. Maybe more Epstein stuff, but it's still a heavy load to carry out through the government. And we get the King of Cups again. Okay. So this isn't an easy time for the government. It's not an easy time for the divine feminine coming together, that circle of support, and the Three of Cups coming together and saying, yay, yay, look at all the information got released. Yay. It's not that easy. It's hard. It's hard. Okay. Let's take a look at Trump's December. Let's look at Trump's December. I just see a great big Seven of Cups. It's a big card. It's huge. Trump's December. I'll drop it down. Let's see what we get. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. Ow. Ten of Swords. Trump's December. Something coming from overseas to fruition. There's a plan there. Two of Wands. And you look at all of the and now I said Trump's December. So is this his kids playing overseas with golf courses and buildings and crypto? Maybe. The Eight of Swords at the base. Prison? Yeah, we can only wish, but no. But he is being tied up. New beginnings in the past as it relates to defending himself a lot. And the King of Cups. King of Cups, who? Okay, so what leader, what king is coming forth to bring some calming energy to this? This was my Joe Biden card before. Remember when Joe Biden became president? It was like a breath of air. It's like, oh, the chaos has stopped. And we didn't hear about him every other day posting crazy stuff. And it's Stephen Miller that's posting the crazy stuff. So who is this king that's going to step forward? And I know a lot of you guys are, saying that there's going to be an interim thing. Is it? I don't know if it is or not. This month that we're going to see this. I would love it. Internally, it's about the theft. Seven of Swords, sneaking into camp, stealing somebody's defenses. It's about the theft, the betrayal. Externally, showing up as a winner. It's weird though, nobody's really looking at him. And this person is looking over at something else. So they're all looking at something different. Hopes and fears is that we can come together to help rebuild something. This is also dark money. This can also be Russia, but it's also kind of like an apprentice card for me, where you have the two master builders with the plans showing the worker the plans to build to help rebuild the cathedral. And we have the Sword of Truth. This is Trump. Trump's December. The Sword of Truth. Is that a needle sticking him? The Emperor. Sword of Truth on the Emperor. He's walking away. One more. Okay, he's moving on. So is it December that we get to see him moving on with the Charity from the Emperor role? Underline, he's at a crossroads, doesn't know where to go. There is a celebration, and it's got something to do about in the White House with the abuse of power and powerful information. This is my overseas card, my Mark Rutte card. And you could see that, I can't remember her name, the head of the EU, the woman that is talking about the Ukraine peace plan that is being forged without Rubio. I mean, he's probably involved now, but Witkoff and Kushner, and it's all about money. It's ugh. And the thing that I keep hoping, because I'm full of hopium, is, are we going to get away from the idea that more is more. Less is more. Are we going to get to that thought? And I'm looking at the age of Aquarius, where we come through with some new thoughts, new way to look at things. We don't need all this stuff. Mother Earth certainly doesn't need another mine. Okay. I'm gonna try to keep these videos less than an hour. I'm full of hopium. Okay. Let's do 6 on the Republicans, 6 on the Democrats, and then I want to look at Tennessee. Okay. Republican Party. They're facing such a backlash on so many things. The Republican Party. And it's certainly not the Republican Party that I grew up with in my family. They were, it was interesting. My grandfather was Democrat. My dad and mom were Republican. So I grew up in the Republican household, and then I switched to being a Democrat or independent, which these days I feel like when somebody says they're an independent, well, they're just being wishy-washy and they're not making a stand. Because these days, you need to make a stand. And I know some people go, well, you can be an independent and make a stand. But when I hear people who say, yeah, I'm a Republican, I don't like what's going on, so I'm now an independent, it's like you need to stand up for what is happening in our country. We need a third party. No, we need... Okay, never mind. All right. Let's see, Republicans, 6 cards. Republicans, let me drop this down. 6 cards. Republicans. Sunshine. Happiness, play. Government. Wow. Are they going magician? Are they going to be flipping? Are they going to, let's keep going with this. The greedy merchant, they're getting their wish. They're balancing some financial things out. You know, certainly they need to. And the steal. So it looks like, just with the 6, I was going to keep going, but I'm going to stop because I said 6. It looks like with this reading, they're going to project sunshine with the government. They're going to go, we've got this. This is all good. This is happy. At the base, they're going to try to pull a rabbit out of their hat, or they're going to say, look over here while we're doing something over here. The magician. In the past, they got their wish via the steal, and they will be juggling things. Okay. So, it's the same old with the Republicans. They haven't really changed much. They're still going to be manipulating things. Let's look at the Democrats for December. What's going on with the Democratic Party for December? What's going on with the Democratic Party for December? Slow moving night. Internal battles. This may be them battling the other side. They got the wish. They're getting their wish at the base of this reading. They have the High Priestess in the past. So it's like intuition. There's some secrets, some female alchemy coming up. The World card. The world is watching the Democratic Party and see how they manage this internal battle. And they have the Sword of Truth with the Page of Swords. So they're bringing forth some truth, but that sword really isn't sticking. And you can see the sword, the point is out of the card. So I go back to the judge with Kristi Noem, and I'm thinking, is he going to lay down the law and say, you violated my order, I'm holding you in contempt? Is Hegseth going to be held to account for him putting that order out, kill everybody? I mean, that's war crimes. Oh, wait a minute, we're not in a war. Oh, yeah, we are. We're in that war against drugs. And Nancy Reagan created that, I think, that war against drugs, and it never worked. When are we going to realize wars do not solve anything? Doug knows it, don't you? Yep. Okay. So, I want to look at the Tennessee election. I want to look at the Tennessee election. Come on, Danny. You can do this fast. So this is Afton Ben and Republican Matt Van Epps. If you're in Tennessee, please vote. Please, please, please get out and vote. One of the things that I will look on later on this week, and I hope I remember, is Congress going to flip next year? Wow. Before the midterms. So, I mean, and when I take my hopium pill, I go, yeah. And I think about it because Lori Sheila and I read things that was saying that Hakeem Jeffries was going to become the speaker with Pumpkinhead in office, and he never got there. So I'm going, is this, did the time shift? Are we now there? And Lori Sheila and I didn't read last month. What? Come on, it's just not right. Okay. What's her name again? So, Afton Ben, Behn, Democrat. Trump won this by 22 points. She is now within the margin of error. She is still behind, but my hopium says she's going to win. This guy, Matt Van Epps, it feels like he's doing some manipulation. And I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. Afton. Let's do 3 up top for Afton and 3 down below for Matt. Afton. Van. How is the outcome going to be for Afton Ben in the Tennessee election? 3 cards. How is the Afton Ben election results going to be for her? I don't know. So far, oh no. I'm thinking, Tennessee, that's pretty red. Death Rebirth card, how's it going to be? Judgment. So in the Judgment, you're rising from death. Star of Hope. Oh, are they going to block that? Are they going to block that? Star of Hope. We'll see. We'll see. Yay. Yay. All right. Let's look at Matt. His cards. He's embattled. He's holding on. Justice. So drop it down so you can see. Death, Judgment, Star. 3 major arcanas. 3 life events. He's in the battle of his life. The 9 of Wands. Still standing. He's barely hanging on with the 4 Pentacles. And then there is Justice. And there's balance. Like the Star of Hope, balance, justice. So could he come through? Yeah. These cards to me feel better. Even though you have the Death, even though you have the Judgment, you have the Star of Hope. Okay. All right. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you all. We will talk to you hopefully in the near future. Peace and love.